PLR Cash Domination. How to utilize private label rights for maximum profits. You already know that using resale rights products and private label content are good ways to make money online. But if you're like a lot of content buyers, you probably have a pile of these products gathering virtual dust on your hard drive. They made nice tax deductions when you bought them, but they haven't done a thing for you since that time. Well, it's time to get that content working and making money for you. Inside this report, we'll discuss dozens of ways to use your resale rights and private label rights content for fun and profit. But before we start, I need to warn you about something. Be sure to read the terms of your rights license carefully before following any of the tactics in these videos. For example, some product licenses grant the use of their products on eBay, while others do not. Some allow giveaway rights, and some do not. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get started. Profiting from private label rights content. One major advantage that private label rights, or PLR content, has over regular resale rights, or RR content, is that you're usually allowed to modify and use the content in any way you like. In fact, some licenses prohibit you from using the material as is, meaning that you must modify it. Let's look at some of the ways to quickly and easily rewrite and repackage the content. Remember that when you change the content, you'll also want to change the title, chapter titles, and any e-covers or sales letters that came with the package. Creating new content from PLR. Now, the most obvious way to create new or unique content from PLR is by rewriting it and otherwise modifying it. There are a few ways to do this. First off, you can rewrite it yourself. Generally, you want to change at least 30% of the content, although 50% is better. If you're ambitious, you can use the PLR content as a mere research base and create an entirely new document. If you're not interested in personally undertaking this task yourself, hire a ghostwriter who specializes in rewriting PLR content. Rates tend to start around a few cents per word and go up from there. Higher quality writers tend to charge higher prices. Be sure to research any ghostwriter before hiring to be sure they do high quality work and have good feedback from other clients. Also be sure that you agree ahead of time on exactly what percent of the content needs to be changed. Finally, ensure that they are personally rewriting it. For example, some PLR writers merely use software to spin your content. This results in poorer quality content than if a human had rewritten it. If you are looking to build a massive site quickly, then you may be considering using PLR content and a good article spinner. If your purpose is to mainly draw in search engine traffic and you don't really care if the quality of the articles is particularly good or at times even readable, then feel free to explore spinning solutions. You can Google Content Spinner or Article Spinner to bring up dozens of fairly inexpensive pieces of software that will create new content from PLR content. Generally, the software does this by creating new introductions, transitions, and endings that are fairly generic. Content spinners also work by inserting synonyms into your content. For example, if your article is about cars, it may replace the word car with auto, automobile, vehicle, personal transportation, and other related words. One quick and easy way to generate new content for free is to use language translators. Simply take an article and translate it into another language, such as Spanish. Then translate it into yet another language, like German. Then translate it back into English. Usually you can do this with a couple clicks of the mouse in mere seconds. Since translations aren't exact, you'll usually come out with a unique article, but be warned that the article may no longer be grammatically correct or smooth. Another way to create a new product from PLR is to simply add new content around the PLR. This means you don't necessarily have to rewrite the PLR. Instead, you take related PLR content and mix and match parts of each to come up with something entirely new. Or you can write something related and add in your PLR content. For example, let's suppose you wanted to create a book on dog training. If you buy all sorts of PLR articles and books on obedience training, housebreaking, socialization, separation anxiety, problem behaviors, and similar, then you should be able to mix and match these pieces to come up with an entirely new dog training product. You may decide to write parts of it from scratch too. You may also consider creating an entirely new product simply by converting the text document into a new format. For example, take the text document and create an audiobook. You can read the content yourself if you have a good voice and a good microphone, or you can hire a professional voiceover artist to do it.